What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 18th episode of our F750 CrewCab build series. In the previous episode, you watched us retrofit my 6.7 gauge cluster with my 1976 F750-Bezel, which means in today's episode, we finally have the hub assemblies for the rear axle to turn it from an 8-lug bolt pattern to a 10-lug bolt pattern. So there's nothing to it but to do it. Stay tuned. All right, you guys, we have hub assemblies. They finally showed up on a pallet. I'll post a picture somewhere around here. Just how terrible shipping and freight was. They literally just had a box on top of one of these. It wasn't even in the box. It was just sitting there on the pallet. So not really commendable shipping on Conmet's part, but we had to go get inner and outer bearings as well as the seals for it. And now we get to finally install these bad boys, get wheels and tires mounted onto this thing. So first up this morning, we're going to clean this up. We're going to pick up all the excess from the hub assemblies of the original parts, and you guys will see that now, and we'll be on our way. Alrighty, while Kyle's cleaning up the other side over there, I am going to start breaking down this hub assembly. I gotta get the caliper off, and then I can break down the rest of it and get it removed. And this should be a delight to get off. Hopefully all the bolts come out easily, nothing seized, but the other side was pretty good and pretty straightforward, so this shouldn't be anything different. So there's nothing to it but to do it. Let's take this bad boy off. Alrighty, hub number 2 is off. We just gotta clean this bad boy up. Make sure it's all nice and clean and smooth and no pitting or anything like that for the new bearings to go on and seal. Kyle's over here, he's about to spec, or torque, not spec, the middle nut right here to lock that all into place. And then this one will be installed. We can mount the wheels and tires here soon and see how it fits with the caliper and things like that. All right, you guys, we got the wheels and tires mounted on this side, on the driver's side. So now up next is I have taken off the other hub assembly, and now it is time to get the bearings pressed into the new hub assembly and get it going on the other side. Now it's starting to pour down rain outside, so we closed up the shop. We have the lights on. And now we get to put on jackets or sweatshirts and get going on this side. So Kyle got the hub on, he's got the preload all set. We went to put the lock nut on and it is broken off right there. There's a little flange, let me try. There's a little flange right here that goes.
Tab.
Tab, flange. We'll say tab, Kyle's the pro. There's a tab that comes right off this. That sits right in there, and that's what locks it in place. And then you bend these tabs every so often to prevent it from moving at all.
The jam nut.
And so we cannot put this in. We got to go to Kenworth or Peterbilt and go grab one of these. So that puts a damper on today's plan because today is Sunday and nothing is open. So we're going to keep moving on, and we'll go get one of these Monday morning when it opens up. Alrighty, new day here. We attempted to get this lock washer this week. However, we are pretty much going to have to order it potentially. So what we're going to do today, instead of looking around and running around to various truck shops to find it, we are actually just going to make one. We have some scrap metal that's pretty much the same thickness or gauge, or maybe even a little bit thicker, and we're just going to trace this out, make our own, and see how it works. That's essentially what this is. This isn't forged or anything like that, or hardened steel. It feels kind of cheap, just like sheet metal. So that's what we're going to do first thing up this morning, and You guys will see that next, and we'll see how it fits. Should be relatively quick and easy, and then we can finally finish this hub assembly, get it all back together, and get the wheels and tires mounted. All right, Kyle just got done finishing this bad boy. We just did a couple test fits. He did have to sand it down a little bit more or grind it down, but this thing looks identical to the other one, which obviously it needs to be, but we found a piece of scrap that's the exact same gauge, and Kyle just traced it and cut it out. Look at that bad boy. Who needs store-bought crap? But it fits perfectly fine. We're going to toss it in right now.
Built, not bought.
Yeah, built, not bought. There we go. We're going to toss it in, toss the other nut on, and keep trucking along with getting this hub assembly finished. And we can get the wheels and tires mounted on it here very shortly.
Alrighty.
Boom. Alrighty, we got the hub put back together. We got the calipers on. Kyle's just filling it up with oil right now. Get those bearings all nice and lubed up. So now we can go grab the wheels and tires that are in that back corner over there, toss them on, and finally have this rear axle with wheels and tires on both the passenger and the driver's side. All right, you guys, there we go. We got the other two wheels and tires mounted on. We finally have a rear end that is complete. The swap is complete, which kind of took us a little bit of time, obviously because we had to wait for new hub assemblies, and we had to make that piece over here for this hub on this side. So unfortunately, it took us a couple days longer than anticipated, but there it is. I don't know if you can see the front of the truck just to see how wide this is. I have been asked how wide this thing is. It is 100 inches from the outermost part of this wheel and tire to the outermost part of this wheel and tire. So I don't know what standard or factory width is. These are pretty narrow tires. They're Unimog tires just because they had to be narrow enough to not rub between. So I don't know what a normal typical rear end width is, but 100 inches is ours, and we're stoked with how this looks. Aren't we, Kyle? So that's it for today. You can look at that big old booty.
Built, not bought.
Built, not bought. There we go. All right, you guys, that's a wrap for today's episode. We finally have wheels and tires mounted on this rear axle. It was an expensive mistake on my part, but I think in the long run, this will probably pay off more than what I think right now. It'll be nice knowing when we go to move this truck and start and stop it that the rear axle has brand new hub assemblies, bearings, seals, and brake rotors that will work all properly with no hiccups and no hassle. So that means up next, we get to jump back inside of the truck. We get to start running the wiring harnesses from bumper to bumper and finally start up this 6.7 Power Stroke that I've been waiting to start up for a very long time. So we appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you on the next one.